We shall fight on the beaches. We shall fight on the landing grounds. We shall fight in the fields and in the streets. We shall fight in the hills. We shall never surrender.
Hello, it's time to challenge again, and this time we are challenging the TCA and glycolysis. However, in this video and the next few videos, I'm going to be concentrating on the whole of cell respiration, and then in later videos I will be focusing on glycolysis in detail. So if you don't know already, you can look at my blog to look at the questions in order. They don't have any numbers this time, I'm just going through them. You can follow along on the blog or just listen to the video. But of course, there'll probably only be 3 or 4 hits because it'll be me listening to me. Thanks very much. Okay, let's get going. What pathway do we get our energy from? Anabolic or catabolic? Catabolic. What are the 3 general metabolic pathways? Catabolic, anabolic, and generation of metabolites that control cell activity. Fatty acid molecules are broken down by what process? Beta oxidation. What is the name of the reduced metabolites which carry electrons to the TCA? NADH and FADH2. What serves as the ultimate electron acceptor? Oxygen. Ultimately, what happens to oxygen? It binds with hydrogen and forms water. Why does oxygen act like a scavenger or waste disposal? It accepts things the cell is trying to get rid of. Name 2 examples of where metabolism occurs in the absence of oxygen. Exercise and within the kidney. What is the proper name for NAD? Nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide. What is the proper name for FADH? Flavine adenine dinucleotide. What is the overall cellular energy state defined by? The ratio of ATP to ADP. Again, what is the overall cellular energy state defined by? ATP to ADP. Nutrient metabolism generates reducing equivalents in the form of NADH and FADH2. How many carbons are there in acetyl-CoA? 2. In what form are the 2 carbons of acetyl-CoA released from the cell? CO2. In fact, for acetyl-CoA, which is the 2-carbon compound, 2 CO2 molecules are released. In order for the TCA to start, what resulting molecules of degradative reactions must be present? Acetyl-CoA, which is from pyruvate, and reducing equivalents NADH and FADH2. In the Krebs cycle, what is acetate metabolized to? CO2. In the Krebs cycle, acetate is metabolized to CO2, and what is generated? Additional reducing equivalents. What is generated from the shuttling of reducing equivalents along the electron transport chain? Electrons. What is the goal of the ETC? To generate electrons, which then can be used to generate ATP, which can be used in the cell. What nutrients can form acetyl-CoA? Fatty acids, amino acids, and glucose. What happens to the byproducts of the beta oxidation of fatty acids within the mitochondria? They are sent out of the mitochondrion to be used in the synthesis of lipids, for example, cholesterol. What is the reverse pathway of glycolysis? Gluconeogenesis. What are the two uses for AMP? Energy source and for cellular signaling, as in cyclic AMP. What other compounds contain high-energy phosphate bonds? GTP, which can be bound to cytoskeletal elements, UTP, and CTP. CTP plays an important role in DNA synthesis. What is the sugar present in ATP? Ribose. What is the name for the high-energy linkages between the phosphates in ATP? Anhydrate linkages. What is the linkage between the ribose sugar and the phosphate in ATP? Ester linkage. How can we define Gibbs free energy? It is the maximum amount of energy that can be obtained from a reaction at a constant temperature and pressure, which is how much it costs to carry a particular reaction. If a reaction has a negative free energy, what can we know about the reaction? It occurs spontaneously. If a reaction has a negative free energy, what can we know about the reaction? It occurs spontaneously. Remember this. How is the reaction of glucose 6-phosphate written? That's GLC 6 plus H2O to glucose plus Pi. This reaction can occur without added energy. Even though this reaction releases energy, we say it is negative. If delta G is positive, then the reaction cannot occur spontaneously. Free energy could simply be defined as how much it costs to carry out a particular type of reaction. Okay, we'll stop there and then we'll continue with another video. Thanks very much.